Welcome to another tutorial. Today we are going to be do smoke part or dust part. So for this we are going to take our last files. So in here I have all the files you can see. This is our destruction part and we have simulated this smoke or source for our destruction. See this one. So we are going to use this as a source for our smoke. So let's do this. For this we are going to couple of things. So we are going to simulate for pyro simulation. So for pyro simulation we need to generate some attributes like density attributes. So for this let me just use attribute wrangler and we are going to use at density equal to which age. It will generate our density attribute. So if we look here, this is our density attribute. See, then we need to rasterize this. So volume rasterize attribute, this one, and we need attribute. So we are going to use density and velocity. So if we look here, this is density and velocity, and you can use normalize and you can use velocity blur. And if you look here, it's quite big of size. So what we can do here is we can adjust its value, which is voxel. So we are going to say yes. Let me just lower this value. Or maybe 1.5. You can increase its value depending upon how you want to do. Okay. 2 is enough. Okay. So this is our like source attribute, and just add null object. Smoke source. Okay. Now we need to make our pyro simulation. For this, let me just use another dome network. You can separate all the smoke and everything so that it will be easy to render out. So let me just make another dope network. Okay. We go here. We need couple of things. First, we need smoke object, which is smoke object. Then we need smoke solver, and connect this. And in smoke is we need size. So sides should be very big so that it can take every values. This one here, and I think will be 50 and 50. We can change this if needed. Just use 20 so that it will be above the ground. Okay, then we need our source. So for source, we need volume. We can use here, and you can select show path, or you can use first context. So for first context, use this one. And for this, we need source smoke. Sometimes it doesn't come, so just change the source fuel, then change to source smoke. It will add all the attributes. And we don't need temperature because we are not using this. We need only density and velocity. And I think will be okay. So let me just check this if it's working or not. You can use one more here, dynamic resize values. It will be also good. Let me check where. Okay. So it's coming lot. Okay, now it's coming here. Okay, need one more, which is gas resize. One. Okay. Okay, I think I have my size is this one is 100 and this one is 50. Or maybe 100. Okay, now it will work. Our section is here, which is around 75. So we look here, it's not covering all our network area. So we can move this to a bit here. Okay, I think it will cover this. Okay, now we will check. Okay. And this gas resize, let me just do this. Okay. Now it's making some smoke. And we can do one more thing. We can use OpenCL, so it will be a little bit faster. See, it's making these smoke for our dust. And if it takes too much time, you can use gas resize. You can use track by object. You can use your geometry, which is our dragon. Okay. Okay. It will be much more faster because it's not calculating every single pixels. Okay, so it will be little bit faster, but we still not up to. Sometime it doesn't keep up with the values. So what you can do, you can change this paddings. Just increase this a little bit so that it has some regions too. And now if we look here, now it's working way more faster. Okay. Now you can see like this. See, there is some steps. So what you can do here, we can increase the sub steps. This one, be careful with this because it will take way more longer time. So just do more, and let's just adjust some settings. Buoyancy, I don't want that much buoyancy. Rest is same. Color, we don't need that. Relationship, don't need bronze. Okay, I think everything is okay. So what we can do here, we can add some micro solvers here. So for this, just use merge because we are going to use more than one. So just here, and I just use gas disturbance. And we need gas dissipate. And you can use this one like 0.1. And one more is this is gas turbulence. Okay. That's okay. I think. So if we check here again, now you can see there's some turbulence in it. And one more thing we can look here is our smoke is going below this ground, so we don't want that. So what we can do here, we can either close from here or we can just use a ground plane. So easiest way is to just close from here. We want only negative y to be closed, everything should be open. So we want our ground for to match exact ground, just the map, and it will be exact 25. Just half of it will be at the ground level. Okay, so Control S, just use. Okay, now you can see it's not going below our ground, and it's working quite nicely. And we can increase its value by, or tail by, decreasing this value, but because this is way too large, so what we can do here is we can always do on 0.2 values. So let me just import this here, and we need the network, and we need smoke object. Our preset is smoke. Okay, it has some values, so we don't need color, we don't need temperature, we need only these two. Okay, now you can see. And if you want, you can use our volume visualization, this one. Okay. And we, for smoke, we need density field. Diffuse is also density field. Okay, this one. You can increase density. How much? This is just for visual purpose. Okay. Increase enough. And for shadow, this one is shadow and scale. And for color, you can choose color also, but I think just for visual purpose. And if you look here, let me just merge this so that we can see both together. You can see this is our smoke and buildings. I think it's looking good. If you want to go further, just go further. And one more thing is we can do here, we can collide our dragon to this smoke. So for this, what you can do here, just go to inside this, and in here we have this container properties. This is container properties, and we want to collide velocity. So what we can do here is we have this collision. This one, collide with volume. So what we can do here is we need our dragon. This one, come here, and we need to collide this. Collide with select smoke object. So just go here. This is a smoke object. Select. Now select smoke object, which is not gliding. It's actually quite long path, that's why it's not coming. So you can do is you can just expose these values, or I can use just directly apply this. It will work just as fine. Yes, go for select and okay. Now if I go here, you have your collision, this one, and just use concave and just use volume sample by size and just go for not too high value. And if I go back diagram section, okay, so this one is our here, and if I look here, you can just here just use UDV reshape. Okay. And if I come here, and if you look for it, it will interact with your smoke. Okay, now you can see our smoke is interacting with this. If you look here, see. So just if you want more detail, just decrease this value, and you can always increase more sub steps here and just cache out. So then you will have your smoke or dust. And last part is we need some debris on these particles, okay, like for these. So what we can do here is we can use pop network. Come here. Now if we look here and just change this from points, it will have particles flying everywhere. Or if you want to use all point, you can use all points. See, more particles, but we don't want that much to be. So what we can do here is we can just decrease its life by 1, and we want to lower this inherit value because it keeps on flying. And we can use a couple of forces like pop, drag, and just decrease it 0.5, and pop wind, And wind you can put on positive Z, which is 2 if you want to, or some sideways. Just add some, let's see, yeah, it will be like this. And we want to like collide to ground, so just use grounding. We have our ground plane, we don't want this, and friction to be complete and bounce to be very low. Same for particles, we don't want to bounce and friction to be almost close to nothing. Okay, now if we look here, it will be like this. And if you want to be follow down like heavy particles, just use gravity. Obviously this is too much, so you can always lower this, don't want that much high values. So we come to pop source. Clearly if we are using all points, we don't have control for these values, so we have to control this from the sourcing point. Or if we are going for points, now we have control for our this one. So if we just lower this and increase this, now we have control over these particles. Okay. Okay. So just source out this also, and we need pop object, not star, just use pop, then use star, it will export particles. So we have like, you can cache out this also. Okay. We combine this one also. Always cache these out because it will take way more time to render. So this is our like final steps for our dragon dissection simulation. So it will take longer to cache and render this. So now you can see we have our dissection, we have our crowd, see everything. Now last part, this means is still using how to render this. So you can render by any plugin you want. You can use V-Ray, Octane, or even you can use your Mantra, but or you can use your Solaris, this one. And because the built-in one Mantra and Solaris will take way more longer time to render and set up, so prefer to render it on V-Ray, Octane or Redshift. So if you want to one more tutorial on how to render this, I can make this, otherwise it will be the last for this series. So thank you for everyone, I hope everyone enjoyed. So try to make something like this, and just if you make something good, just tag me and I will like your work. Thank you.